Hello and welcome to What's Up London. I'm your guest host, Scott Ballard, and I'm thrilled to be filling in and bringing you another exciting episode packed with local insights, community updates, and stories from the heart of London. We've got a fantastic lineup today, so let's dive right in. Our first guest is here to talk about an important event focused on mental health and well-being. Joining us is Kimberly McDougall, Program Chair for 2024 and 2025 with Business Professional Women, BPW London. Kimberly, thank you for joining us today.
Hi, thank you, Scott. It's a pleasure to be here.
Wonderful to be here. I know exactly. And we had a chance to talk out there a little bit about your great organization. Mm-hmm. Let's jump into that before we talk about your event.
Of course. BPW London has been in the City of London for 80 years. We're actually celebrating our 80th anniversary in June of this year, so we're very excited about that. But BPW London is also a part of the larger organization, BPW Ontario, Canada, and BPW International. And through that, we have opportunities for advancing our leadership skills, creating community, supporting one another, mentoring other women. It's just a wonderful organization. And as part of our 80th year, we felt it was very important to be able to give back to our community and offer something to the community of London. And we decided upon an event this March focusing on mental health.
So, and that's going to be at the German Club?
It is.
The German Canadian Club,
German Canadian Club, yes.
March 18th. Tell us more about that.
Yes, so it's going to be at One Cove Road, German Canadian Club, March 18th. Doors will open about 6:15, and our panel discussion will begin at about 7 p.m. We're going to have snacks and, coffee, tea, that sort of thing. The German Canadian Club is graciously catering our event, so thank you to them. And we have a fantastic moderator and wonderful panelists lined up. It's something a little different because we didn't want to have the same old discussion about mental health. We wanted to offer something inspirational and informative to the community and to our members. When we started planning this, we knew that a lot of our members were feeling stressed and burnt out, and I think that feeling has just gotten worse since we started planning back last summer. So I think it's very timely. And as I said, we have a fantastic moderator who is a registered psychotherapist. Mm-hmm. We have an art therapist. We have somebody who is trained in yoga nidra. We have somebody trained in breath work. We have somebody who's an art therapist, and we have someone who is a hypnotherapist. So some different modalities that you can bring in to support your mental health and well-being, because we know mental health is a multifaceted thing.
Yes.
And it's our diet, it's our exercise, and it's also learning some new tools and skills to help us improve our own mental health. And that's what this evening on March 18th is all about.
It's fantastic. Yeah. So across the bottom, obviously, we'll have RSVPing.
Yes, please.
And your information for the event. Now, also, there's some really amazing panelists going to be part of this. So let's touch on that quickly.
Yes, absolutely. So Ashley Amacarelli from Thrive Psychotherapy is our moderator. She is located here in London, and she is just such a wonderful fit as moderator for this group. And as I said, our intention is that everyone who attends our evening will go away with a tool of some sort that they can implement immediately to help them focus their mental health in a different direction, in a more positive direction. So it's very exciting. As I said, we have Jillian Verworn, who is a registered hypnotherapist. She's actually a BPW member as well.
Right.
She's coming from Niagara, so she's the furthest away.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So how do people get involved with BPW?
Oh, BPW, we have a monthly speaker series, and you will find the information about that on our socials. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook and LinkedIn, so you'll see the information each month about what our speaker series event is.
Excellent.
Last month we had Dr. Yvonne Acer Bediaco from the University of Western Ontario. She also works for the City of London, and we were talking about her immigrant experience.
Wonderful.
So we try and do things every month that are inspirational and informative to our members and any guests who are attending. The guests are always welcome.
That's amazing. And again, it's an amazing event coming up at the German Canadian Club, and you are all excited about that. You've got a list of panelists, all the information across the bottom here. So
yeah, that's
wonderful.
Great. Yeah, wonderful. And please do register. We do have limited spots, so make sure you get yours.
RSVP.
Yes, it's so important.
Kimberly, thank you so much for joining us. And we look forward to hearing more about your organization and the 81st year to come.
Yes.
And have an amazing event.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
We'll be right back. Welcome back. Climate change is a pressing issue, and it's inspiring to see people of all ages taking action. Joining us now is Donna Faye Milton from Seniors for Climate London to discuss their new film. Welcome to the show, Donna Faye.
Thanks very much.
You have a great organization. Tell us more about it.
Okay. Well, I have a scan t-shirt on. Seniors for Climate Action Now. We're one of 6 seniors organizations that came together to form Seniors for Climate. It's a special project, and it was on National Seniors Day, October the 1st, where 76 communities did climate actions.
Fantastic.
We sang, we danced, we had special speakers, lots of things.
It's wonderful. So how many people are involved in your organization?
In SCAN, I think there are about 300. We're just deciding if we will go pan-Canada. There are 10 chapters in Ontario and now 1 in BC.
And how did it come about?
I think it was a group of intellectual climate people from Toronto that started it, because there are engineers and scientists and a lot of retired faculty members that came together and said, it's a climate emergency. We have to do something. Like our name says, it's climate action. So that's the kind of group we are. So we started the London chapter about 3 years ago. And so I was the chair of the Seniors for Climate actions that took place last October.
Now, an amazing documentarian has been involved with your organization and actually has set up a new film. Tell us a little bit about this excellent film you've been working on.
That's true. Her name is Nancy Nickel. She's a well-respected documentary maker. She's worked all over the world, and she told us, if you send me footage from your events, I'll make a documentary. And she darn well did, and it's fabulous. Right from Pugwash, Nova Scotia, to I think the farthest is Salt Spring Island, and then Northwest Territories. So it's very different depending on, I mean, in Pugwash, they have like a fiddle player, and you can see the Bay of Fundy in the background. But they're all saying the same thing. We have to get off fossil fuels. We need to get more people involved. There are, I think, over a million seniors in Canada, and some of us are taking action for their climate.
It's absolutely amazing. So the film, how did the film come about? Was it just she reached out to you, or did you?
She's a member. She's in the Kingston Scan group. And we had a regional meeting, and she said, you know what? I would be willing to make one more documentary. And these are participatory documentaries, which means it's people, real people. There are no actors. So she did, and it's very, very well done.
And you mentioned someone from Jasper that was involved.
Many of the parts are pretty touching. The woman from Jasper who comes back to the site where her the burnt out house that she raised her kids in is there. And she cries. Oof. And then she gets her old fiddle. Somehow it was saved. And she plays it and she says, this is somehow I'm going to have to work through my sorrow with what has happened.
That's wonderful to hear and touching, and I can tell the emotions behind it.
Yeah.
We're going to put some information up, obviously, about how people can see and find out more about this film and more about your organization. Are there more seniors ready to sign up? Do we need to put the word out there for more people to get involved?
Well, we are going to be at Earthfest, and October the 1st we'll be doing another event here in London. So, and the website, the SCAN website is amazing. That's what sold me. Yeah, I was leafing through Facebook or whatever it is you call it, scrolling, and I saw an ad for a group. And when I went to the website, I went, oh my gosh, for seniors. And I'm still active. Lots of us were activists. I was, in the feminist movement and then the Ontario Health Coalition, because a lot of those things are related to climate. Those social justice issues are related to the breakdown of our climate.
This is so true.
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing that you're here. I've learned so much today about a lot. But you know what? I really hope that the younger people follow the footsteps of
Thanks a
the
lot.
things that the seniors are doing, and obviously with a great organization. So thank you so much for joining us, Donna Fay, and we look forward to seeing more about the film and about your organization.
Can I tell you what it's called? Later is Too Late. That's the name of the film.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. We'll be right back.
Vote out them climate deniers for the good of all.
Welcome back. Who doesn't love a good cookie? Here to talk about the delicious treats and community involvement of Craig's Cookies is Jesse Robertson, General Manager, and Mohammed Kamani, co-owner. Welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having us.
So, you're a brand new organization downtown across from Victoria Park here in London. Tell us a little about how it started up.
So Craig's Cookies is a Toronto-based cookie brand. It started by the owner, Craig, himself many years ago. Over the last few years, he's been expanding with different franchising opportunities, and my business partner, Parker Christie, and I decided to become a franchise location out in London, Ontario, over here. Parker and I both went to school here at Western University many years ago, so this was always a second home for us.
Excellent.
So it naturally made sense that we would join the community here like we used to be and open up a business.
That's wonderful. And it was November?
Yes, we opened technically the last weekend of October, so late October, early November.
Wonderful.
And yeah, we've been busy ever since. We had a lot of Christmas caterings, and it's been a great response, great feedback. We've had local support, student support, and we're excited to be in London again.
So tell me, what made you want to get in the cookie business?
Well, Parker and I both have a sweet tooth. We love cookies, and Parker himself actually lives beside the corporate office on Church Street. He frequented there a lot. Me and him used to go together a lot, and Parker and Craig have somewhat of a close friendship. And when we heard that Craig was expanding and looking for franchising opportunities, it only made sense for Parker and I to team up and bring the brand that we love so much to our second home, which is London, Ontario.
Tell us, what makes Craig's Cookies different from all the rest?
I would say the big thing is the recipe itself is Craig's mom's recipe. So it's very homey, very original, very nostalgic for not only Craig himself, but for a lot of the guests. It reminds them of that cookie recipe that you probably made with your mom and dad growing up. That tied into the fact that our business is very welcoming. We welcome all aspects of life from anyone. And together, that paired in with the fair price, we believe, and all the unique flavors makes an awesome cookie.
Jesse, we've been told there's some new flavors of cookies for March. What do we got?
Yes, so for March we're launching Smartie, Kit Kat, and Coffee Crisp.
Wow. And who comes up with the flavors? Is it all Craig, or do you guys ever get any inputs?
Craig allows inputs from us, obviously. We're a great team. We work well together, but a lot of the flavors and the recipes come from Craig himself.
Is there any bubble gum?
No, but I'll definitely let them know that that is of interest.
And there's ice cream coming, which is pretty good for people walking around Victoria Park.
There is. With it getting warmer, we're going to bring it in.
Yeah, the hope is with the ice cream to make ice cream sandwiches. So our cookies, Kawartha ice cream is hopefully the ice cream that we'll be carrying, and together guests can have the option to either get a couple scoops of ice cream with the side of a cookie, or just make your own custom ice cream sandwich.
That's wonderful, and you're doing some great things. Obviously, you're both from UWO, you and your co-owner. And you're doing great things around the community, based around that. Tell us a little bit what you have going on.
Yeah, so like I mentioned earlier, Parker and I both went to Western, so that's home for us. We were part of many different clubs and organizations at the university. So when organizations reach out to have some sort of charity events or anything like that, we're obviously always there to help and support. We work with the sororities and the fraternities and sponsor their events and help them with that. And the more recent one coming up on April 5th is the Sick Kids Western Run.
Oh, wonderful.
That's happening, and we're the official sponsor for that.
Excellent. I know that the City of London loves sweets, and there's all kinds of great stuff, and not a better place to be. Thanks very much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing more, and congratulations on the new shop.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Welcome back. Our next guest has a lot of things to talk about. Marty Novak is the Director of Operations of Palasad Limited and is here to tell us about the music program they have offered at the Social Bowl. Welcome to the show, Marty.
Thanks, Scott.
I've known you for a long time. It's amazing through the years, back in the old Rockwaters days.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit how you started in the music industry and how long has it been?
For sure. Even before London, I lived in Windsor for about a decade, and I was also kind of in behind the scenes there as well. I'm not a talented musician by any means. I was in a really rough band in the 90s in high school, but out of Hamilton. But I've always enjoyed the creativity and surrounding myself with people who kind of like interests. So it's just a natural progression for me to kind of use our contacts and see what we can do for the city.
You've always been a very big supporter of all the music industry here. It's really nice that now you've been working at the Palasad. How long have you been with the Palasad for?
It will be 17 years in July.
Wow.
So it's been a long time.
And because you're so tight into the music industry, you've altered and helped put that into one of the most amazing music venues in our area.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, back in 2018, we renovated Palasad North on Oxford and Adelaide to Palasad Social Bowl. We changed the name from north to south just to kind of distinguish what we were trying to do, make it a little more hipper, a little more fun, a little more millennial based given the clientele around there, the demographic. So yeah, we started live music in 2018. Back then it was a stage that was built 3.5 feet over the bowling lanes, so you would bowl underneath it. And then once we got our legs a little bit, we were asked to do some bigger shows, but they wanted like a walk-up, like a traditional venue. So then we rented a floor to drop on the bowling lanes, and then we eventually bought a floor because it became more and more in demand.
Right.
And then once we established that, it was great to go. We realized that we couldn't really cover the bowling lanes for the entire Christmas season and lose that revenue.
Yeah.
So the owner was like, figure it out. And I was like, all right. So I talked to my two techs, and then we pulled the whole stage over to its new permanent home on the pool floor. And it's been soaring high since then.
And absolutely great sound in there and a lot of fun. Obviously, everybody can still come in. Families can come in for some great grub.
Yep.
And obviously a nice meal and bowl, and there's all kinds of activities happening there. And you've expanded more on the sound side and the actual venue side, where you now are offering for smaller shows and acoustic shows.
Yeah, this is a brand new, like, fresh thing that you probably everybody here is the first to hear about it when this airs. So we are considered a medium club by capacity at 500 people. We're one of the few medium clubs of that capacity in London. Like Rum Runners, for example, is 300, so they're a small club. Music Hall is like 14 or something, so they're a large club. So we've actually lost out on some really cool shows we want to be a part of because we were considered too big by their agents. So we've been kind of putting our heads together, and then a couple days ago we're like, let's just do a test run show. So we have a show coming up March 18th in the new area that we're referring to as the Third Eye Lounge. It's because it's in the Mystic Room at Palasad, so the Three-Eyed Cat. So this is what we did with it. So the first show is March 18th with Eddie Spaghetti from Super Suckers doing like a solo type duo acoustics run. That room standing will fit about 150 to 200. So it's going to be a way more intimate experience than having this bands on the other side. But the other side still will be our major home for sure.
Right.
This just gives us another offering that we can send to agents and stuff to get some well-known touring bands back in the building.
Yeah, it's nice to see that. Obviously, there's not a lot of venues left in the city, so it's nice to see that you're expanding on that and offering. And there's a lot of youth. I see a lot of youth shows happening there. So
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things, to be honest. Like, my daughter is part of the London Girls Rock Camp as well. She's been there for 3.5 years. She's in the band called the Sirens. They're 12 years old. She actually they practice like twice a month. We're actually debating recording an EP in May, because they have about 5-6 songs, all original, and they're shockingly like really tight for 12-year-olds. So it's super cool. And then we have all the high school bands. We have a great connection with Fanshot MIA program as well with Dan over there. Coming up just before school ends, I think we have 3 MIA showcases
Fantastic.
as well. So it's great.
So a little bit about the shows coming up for the next couple months here. And I mean, you get into spring, obviously, open all year long. Beautiful venue, always something great going on. Tell us a couple
Yeah,
of
we have
shows.
lots of stuff going on. We're full right now to the end of June for weekend bookings, which is great, and spilling over already into the fall for some bigger touring events. But we're a sister venue for the Festival Pouza in Montreal.
Wonderful.
So it's called Road to Pouza, where we get bands going to and from worldwide from the big festival in Montreal that play our place first. So we have 3 or 4 showcases. One is the biggest one off Stomp Records is Ray Gun Cowboys with locals Thunder Queens, which you can't argue with ever.
Yeah.
Also from London Girls Rock Camp, where they met, and then Doghouse Rose. Then we have another stomp band coming up to Filthy Radicals with Bad Words and Elephant. One of my favorite shows coming up, we actually just firmed it this morning, is Taylor Holden is playing on May 15th with a band from Washington and South Carolina called the Rosies and Alex Vile.
Right.
And then we have another show on the 13th of May, a Pouza show that has a band from Germany down. I can't say the name because it has an explicit, it's Captain something. It starts with an A and goes from there. And then a band called Bat Boy and Teens in Trouble. So
Fantastic.
it's just fantastic.
You got a lot going on, and we got to thank you for keeping everything, the music going here in the city too.
We
all
love
you
it.
do.
London's got a great community for it,
Yeah.
and we love being a part of it.
Excellent. Well, thank you for joining us. We love, obviously, we'll put across the bottom here where everybody can check out all the shows coming up. Thank you so much for being with us again.
Oh, thanks for having me. I really appreciate
always
it.
Always a pleasure to see you.
All right, you too, Scott.
That's all the time we have for today on What's Up London. Thank you to all our guests for sharing their stories and events. Please support our guests by liking and sharing their stories and participating where you can. Join us next week for another episode filled with local happenings. I'm Scott Ballard. Thanks for watching.